Hi everyone and welcome to your general tarot guidance for the week of January the 31st, 2021. Now before I begin with the guidance and what exactly the universe, the divine intelligence, would like us to know for this week, I have to mention that this is definitely gonna be a very dynamic and eventful week for a lot of us. We are, from an astrological and karmic perspective, in a very delicate period. And basically, this includes all of us because, regardless of where certain very important points in our chart are, it can still influence each and every one of us in different ways, yes, but the collective pattern is the same. So basically, through our own individual and unique ways of experiencing life and everything that life and destiny and karma is throwing at us right now, well, they do have a very fated feeling to it. They may be pretty tough, pretty complicated, pretty unusual for a lot of people. And this is because Jupiter whizzing through the sign of Pisces, the part of the sky, which has to do exactly with fated finalities, fated completions, conclusions, a point in the sky where one way or another all of us have to look at an ending and also try our hardest to begin anew, or at least stay open to the new, to the next, to the perhaps unpredictable, which life already is planning for us, because nothing that we lose just stays lost forever. One way or another, we replace it with something else, and we can look at this almost like a mechanism of the universe, but we can also look at it as an inner mechanism, because that is also how we are built, and especially in this day and age, when we're so very, very interconnected, well, new beginnings, new connections, new adventures, anything that has to open a new cycle, a new door, can come much more quickly in our lives, in our awareness, the opportunity, the request, the connection than ever before in human history, basically. So perhaps this is the benefit, this is the bigger blessing that everyone who is alive today kind of shares, because this is the particularity of the age where it helps us connect to one another. So of course we receive it and benefit from it. Now, regarding the ending part, that is where it can be pretty complex, pretty complicated, pretty dramatic, because Pisces is karma. Pisces is stored karmic energy, basically. So not just our human memory, but also the karmic path of how we got there in that specific moment in our lives, why it happened, who is it interconnected with, etc., etc. So it's a very, very deep and very mysterious, mystical part of the sky, and when Jupiter, its ancient ruling planet, activates it, well, that is when a lot of fated things happen for all of us. And where I'm going with this is that in this period of the beginning of the year, so January, February, and even going to March, for a lot of us, it's exactly a period when we have big closures, but also big new beginnings in our lives. From an astrological perspective, the new year begins when the sun enters into the sign of Aries, the first breath, the new, the next, and also that which wants to be born, that which needs to be born. So before we get to Aries, it is going to be a very, very complicated period when endings and big completions, but also putting down the base of a new beginning happens simultaneously, sometimes not even linearly, so we might also get a little bit confused along the way. And to add to this, this is also an important week from a different perspective. Both Mercury and Venus and their retrograde roughly simultaneously at the same time, and they go direct. So that adds a lot of clarity, that adds a lot of momentum, that adds a lot of inner ambitioning, determination, knowing that which we need to do, who we need to do it with, in which manner, or at least a very good picture about this. Or we might actually be in the process where we are perfecting a plan or something to do with a future desire even now as we speak. So this is a really, really good period, yet it is very, very chaotic, it is very busy, it is very multi-dimensional in the sense that it's going to be both emotional, a lot of brainstorming as well, communication, be very diplomatic, be very kind and compassionate and not give way to misunderstanding, of course. For some people, they have to communicate a decision which they already took, they already made, so the communication itself is hard, especially when they have to announce something pretty big or dramatic, that which impacts the lives of other people around them. And there is a lot of inconvenience this week as well, Sun-Uranus square, and even greater inconvenience when the Sun meets Saturn. That's a hard reality check. So it's gonna be very, very mixed. But of course, at the same time, there is blessing in the sky. We have Mars sextiling Jupiter, Mars exalted, Jupiter extremely strong, so that is definitely a saving grace. Even though we do need to empower that internally, psychologically, with our faith, if nothing else is available. And we also have Venus trining Uranus. That can be unexpected blessings, surprises, presents, help, appreciation, kindness, love. So that is also a pretty powerful saving grace in the sky out there. So now to listen what the cards have to say, what the divine wisdom would like to inspire us with. So as a general picture, we have the Faith, the Sun reversed, the Ten of Cups reversed, and the Ten of Wands. Now this isn't a very easy picture because with the Sun reversed, that might be depicting exactly the Saturn-Sun conjunction moment when reality hits us one way or another. And, this is the kind of attitude we need to take where regardless of what life around that time, so in the middle of the week, might be showing us in a pretty raw, not sugar-coated way, well, of course, it can leave us feeling disempowered, or, it can be like a shocking moment when we ask ourselves, well, what did I do until this time? Because I really tried to work, I really tried to make a situation, place, event, or person be as, let's say, harmonious as they can be, and it still didn't really pay off, it didn't really work. So this is a kind of reality check where we very quickly, suddenly, instantly need to go back to the drawing board and make the final adjustments. But that it's not like a Mercury retrograde season, because that just ended. This is the Sun meeting Saturn, so there and then and very, very quickly, whatever information, clarity, personal epiphany, or maybe something our conscious, actually even the Sun, our consciousness might be telling us at that time, very quickly we will readjust either a plan, a situation, our own attitude, whatever that Saturn in the sign of Aquarius right now means for us personally. And there is the Uranus square, so things are not very easy. Complications come, unexpected twists and turns of events come. Saturn is also sacrificed. A lot of people might be needing your help exactly at the moment when you need yourself as well. So this can really, really make the Sun reversed in a symbolic way, where the Sun reversed is when it kind of burns with frustration, with irritation, when it has no choice but to center around itself, and that is not the higher nature of the Sun, because the Sun wants to shine and share with everyone the light, the joy, the goodwill, etc. When it's reversed, then unfortunately, like it or not, regardless of what conditions cause this, but it has to turn inwards and just keep the light, the nourishment, the creational energies to itself because it needs it. And that can cause irritation, frustration when we may not feel to be full of compassion and understanding, a little bit irritable. And there is that Ten of Cups reverse, so everyone in your life important around, especially this week. So we're not talking about just acquaintances and people, we're talking about family or very close friends, people who are like a permanent part of your lives can irritate you as well. Or something happens in their life which kind of affects indirectly yours. And naturally, the Ten of Cups can always represent family karma, big things happening in the family. So like it or not, you have to be there, even if just psychologically. So basically, the Divine is telling us that this week is going to be pretty hard, the 10 of Wands. We may feel overburdened, we may feel under a lot of stress, under a lot of pressure, tension. We may even feel a little bit lost because the retrogrades are not 100% over yet. So for a lot of us, this can represent feeling a little bit lost, feeling a little bit alone, feeling like everything is burdening you and you don't see the way out. But fortunately, with the Sun reversed, this isn't like the Hangman where you're letting it all go. This is where, okay, that's the situation, but you're still fighting, you're still staying strong, you're still trying your hardest. The fact that the circumstances are the way they are is not enough to deter you. And the faith, well, that is perhaps the key card, because by staying strong internally, of course, and truly allowing your inner values, your greatest principles, that which is the foundation of your own unique spirituality, or perhaps just worldview, well, those are more than enough to guide you through in this very strong period, because whatever the hardship, the complication, the reality check, the big burden the Ten of Wands is, it will not last for a long time. And right now, it's even a positive thing, because even if you might not know, it is the bad kind of motivator, but it is there for you not to just give up everything and lose control and surrender, because right now perhaps surrendering is not the best choice, not the best option. Right now you have to be there and do it, even if under great pressure, because if nothing else can help you, faith and simply your inner structure, your inner world, your inner principles, and that core identity which you can only feel, maybe not ever express, because that which is divine is way too complex to be expressed the way it truly is. But still, you know who you are deep inside, even if you cannot perfectly express that. So that is your bridge with the divine. That is your bridge to the other realms. That is where you can become a creator of your own reality as well. And when things are really, really tough, just like the hermit crab or just like other very symbolic creatures of nature out there, just contract your shell around you and you'll be safe. Whatever happens cannot touch your core values and basically your inner structures, so your ambition and whatever it is that you need to do, whatever it is that you need breakthrough with, or a strong empowerment. As I said, the Jupiter sextile Mars, that is a energy of strong empowerment and guidance, that which we feel from within. But as long as we follow that which we feel within, things do go according to that inner plan, if you know what I mean. So again, whatever this Ten of Wands represents in your life, a lot of work, for example, a lot of complications. For some people, maybe accounting issues, paperwork. Maybe they need to sort out some contracts. After all, Mercury retrograde is coming to an end. It's the time for that. To think about how am I going to make this purchase, this move, this deal, whatever it is. So it can be pretty tense and pretty tough. But you need to endure because, at least symbolically speaking, spiritually speaking, right now every kind of pressure that exists on us is like when coal is deep under the earth, under the layers of soil and rock and stone and minerals of the earth, and under that great pressure it turns into diamond. So whatever hardship, the Ten of Wands, the cross that we have to bear, our own weight in any way, shape and form, if that seems a little bit difficult and challenging right now, it is the best idea and the best moment to just hold on, do whatever we can and not give up, because other energies out there are definitely helping us. And this attitude of not surrendering and not allowing the weight to basically crush us under is the best possible inner spiritual or psychological action to take at this time. And as divine guidance, we have the Ten of Earth and the Explorer of Earth. And this is so very suggestive because the Ten of Earth represents, as I said, the completion or a cycle coming to an end, especially Earth material one, or something that has to do with a basic value, core value of ours, that is either ending, changing, transforming. So of course that in outer reality will reflect as some kind of pressure, as some kind of hardship or obstacle, but that which is actually at this time perfectly under our, maybe not control, but we do have the strength to handle it, whatever it is, on life's terms, of course. And the Explorer of Earth, simultaneously another part of the tension, of the pressure, perhaps the frustration. Life is also teaching us how to adapt or how to navigate in the new, because one way or another a new cycle or a new beginning, a new phase starts for all of us. For some people it is just going to be that part of the year where things are finally getting to a dynamism, to a motion, momentum, while for other people it's not just the year, it is a very important part in their lives, in their karmic journeys. So we need to stay strong, we need to allow that Ten of Earth to complete itself, for the big conclusion to be drawn, and for us to embrace it, to see it for what it is, and ultimately to accept it or let it go for some people, and a new beginning or something new to take its place is already there, even if we cannot see it at this moment. So right now it's not really the time to contemplate that much over karma and faith and everything that this energy might be evoking from within us, but rather the time of contemplation is over. We did that the past couple of years when we had maybe in so very many ways no other choice than to just keep on in the contemplation, where now we finally have the chance to actually take action. The processing, the contemplation, the brainstorming and soul storming, if that even makes sense, is over. Now all we need to do is follow that, accept that, live with that, and work with that which we already, one way or another, created for ourselves. This is the time when we are going to be given the tools that we asked for until now. And especially for those people who have been stagnating for a lot of years, this can be a very, very dynamic and important period. Just, of course, don't expect it to be very easy. Expect the change, the big change, especially if you've been stagnating for years, to come in a very, how should I even say, a lightning bolt kind of way, where it strikes and there it is. You have to work with something totally different, something totally new that you never ever expected or experienced before. Yet still, there is a lot of wisdom of why things are happening the way they are. A wisdom that we will manage to behold later on in April, all throughout the summer and autumn. And that will be a moment when the foundations for our longer term futures are already going to be laid, more or less, of course. So this is today's guidance. Thank you so much for being here, for all your kindness and support. And again, every single work that I will ever do is gonna be dedicated to the memory of my mom. Thank you again, and I wish everyone a wonderful week. Until next time, bye for now.